The immovable fan and those who don't leave the goddamn boat. This is kind of a follow-up to my previous video, at least response I got, which I felt was like, really? Anyways, person proceeded to bitch at me. I know, internet, nothing new. I figured this is a good time to segue into something that I've encountered a lot on the internet, and it's something that I refer to as the immovable fan. What's the difference between an immovable fan and a regular one, you may ask? Well, a regular fan will probably watch something when it's on Hulu, whatever. They'll enjoy the show, get the DVDs, whatever. If it's not on, they might watch something else. They're the type of people you generally, at least the kind I seem to meet at conventions. Some go as far to dress up. Now, an immovable fan goes way too damn far with whatever series they're in, to the point where it seems to be all that they build their lives around. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy fiction. I enjoy fiction a lot. I enjoy analyzing, but it's not, it's not something to build your life around. I totally get about how much life sucks and how some people get into fiction as a way of getting out of these problems in their life for a brief stay. Arguably that's what escapist entertainment's about, which is why it's called escape. You escape from reality. Yeah, I know, stating the obvious. But the big purpose I argue for saying at least fiction is important is that when done right, a good story will enrich your life, and arguably it should put problems and issues that plague the modern day existence we have, whatever that is, for whatever era this is, into a context that can register on a psychological level, so that way people are prepared to deal with those things in their everyday life in the correct way. Where it's, lessons. I learned this and I try to apply it to my everyday life, and hopefully that improves my life. But, note, it's a brief stay. The issue comes with that there seems to be people that just spend way too much time in that particular world, the point where it ruins everything else. Let's see. To put things into a decent context, yes, I write these things out and read them off because I like to at least try to characterize my thoughts into words ahead of time. Crispin Freeman has a lecture series. He academically analyzes anime and manga, which is something I enjoy. I've gone to, I think, 2 of them. And, there's the giant robot lecture he has. And, he talks about, Buddhism, Shintoism, and, how in the context of a giant mecha series, the giant robot's this vehicle of enlightenment. It is something you get into. You reach the shores of paradise and you get the hell out of it. And if you take that concept and apply it to a series, is that a story, a book, whatever, you get in, you enter that world, you go through it, and then you're supposed to leave. And one of the things he's talking about is the problem that happens when people get to the shore and they go and grab the stupid boat and they drag it with them because they've spent so much goddamn time working on it. It's like you've completely missed the point. You don't get it. You've not learned anything. Otherwise, you'd be out in paradise. And with a lot of anime and manga, that seems to be a similar issue that keeps happening to people, is that yes, this is good, this is great, I enjoy this stuff, but try to use it to improve your life. I mean, we do exist in this world. Instead, what I see is the immovable fan is they just stay inside the story and they don't venture out of it again because it's safe. It feels safe. It's even if like the world's absurdly violent and horrible, I mean, God knows I love Berserk, but that would be like one of the absolute worst universes to live in. You'd be killed by a demon, like as they start taking over. I mean, just everything about that. But there's a lot that you can draw from Berserk at the same time. Friendship, honor, betrayals, why we don't do those kinds of things, and how some dreams maybe aren't necessarily as such a good thing. If what good is a dream if you kill everyone who cares about you to achieve it? I mean, there might be just a point where maybe a person should say forget it, and that's an important thing to understand. But because the people don't leave these kinds of things, they don't leave these stories. The thing which should have been the boat, the thing that brought them to here, and they let go release, they stay in, and it becomes a kind of coffin. And it seems there's way too many of these people around, and I just feel bad that somehow we do this to ourselves. It's just I'm not necessarily, posting on here to try to cause conflicts. I'm trying to genuinely, go over concepts and my opinions, and it just so happens that some people cannot deal with them too well. Of course, I do have a certain limits to what I'll put up with. But I like, these are things I like to think about and concern me, and I'm just putting them out there for no good reason. It's just something I feel like doing.